Welcome to the Olsen Angle. Today we're going to be talking about a tight end recruit out of Nevada, Darnell Washington. Now, Darnell is a number 10th overall recruit on 24/7 Sports, the 8th overall recruit on ESPN, as well as the 15th overall recruit on Rivals.com. And when you look at him, at 6'7.5", 260 pounds, I could promise you, college teams are just salivating looking at his size as well as his speed. I mean, he ran a 4.78 40 at 6'7.5", 260 pounds. Unbelievable. Darnell actually released the top 3 schools he might commit to this upcoming season tonight, and they were in no particular order: Georgia, Miami, and Tennessee. And when we watch the highlights, we're going to notice that not only did Darnell play tight end all game, but he also played defensive end. So throughout these highlights, he's probably running on fumes all games because he's playing both ways and he's playing the entire game. Throughout the highlights, we're going to notice that Darnell is a better tight end than defensive end at this point in time in his career. So in college, he's probably going to go ahead and play tight end first and be successful at that position. But there's one thing he's going to have to work on, and that is run blocking. Throughout every single rushing attempt, you will notice that Darnell takes a false step, some of them bigger than others. And for those of you who do not know what a false step is, that is if Darnell has his feet equal to the line of scrimmage. I can almost show it like this. If he has his feet equal to the line of scrimmage, he will take a step back with one of his feet, then to go ahead to move forward. It means he's really not set proper and he's just not comfortable, is all that means when you're taking those false steps. And you might not think that's a huge deal, right? Because he's fast, he's athletic, and he's able to cover ground at 6'7", 6'7.5". So taking a false step might not be that important. I'm going to tell you on the contrary, taking a false step will inhibit you from getting to wherever you're working, whether it's the outside linebacker, inside linebacker, running routes, it doesn't matter. If you are taking false steps, you are losing time on every single play. So I can promise you, no matter where he commits, whether it's Tennessee, Georgia, or Miami, they are going to rep him at every single action possible to avoid taking those false steps. Despite having some issues with footwork, Darnell does an excellent job of getting his hands on defenders first. And at 6'7.5", he is almost always going to have a larger wingspan than all the defenders he's going against. So, the fact that he's able to use his strength and get a good punch in, it shows that he's utilizing his full wingspan. He's not mistiming punches, which is good. And when he's able to go ahead and lock onto that defender, then he's just able to use that strength and his frame to move that defender out of the hole. With that size and frame that he has, he's going to be an absolute nightmare for defenses to cover, because you can't just stick a Mike or an outside linebacker on him because he's too athletic and fast and will find a way to get open. But, in the other aspect, you can't just stick a safety on him because he's way too big and physical for a safety to go ahead and cover him one-on-one. So really, it leaves the defense in a pick-your-poison scenario. And when you go ahead and pair up that size with the speed that Darnell has, it's going to be really tough for any defense to go ahead and cover him at the next level. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get right into the highlights. Holy crap, he got right in behind the cornerback, caught the ball, and just ran the guy over. He had absolutely no chance of tackling Darnell. I guess the safety saw a run, came up and pinched a little bit, and Darnell made an effortless touchdown there and just cruised past all the defenders. I guess Darnell is also the punter. Nice job on that little scramble, but he's also the punter, so you're talking about an athlete. Makes the interception with the big frame, just reaches up, bats that ball down, uses the awareness to know that he's going down, getting tackled, looks for another defender, passes the ball off there. I guess he laterals it backwards, and the guy scores a touchdown on it. What a play! Almost took half the team to take down Darnell right there. Holy crap. Field goal kicker kicked a little low. Darnell just reached those big hands up and blocked the kick. Oh my gosh. The entire defense was in the backfield on that play. It was a good job by Darnell, but holy crap, the entire defense was in the backfield. There it is. There it is, guys. Let me go ahead and pause. Let me go ahead and hit pause and rewind this really quickly. This is the false step right here. You saw that first step, right? He took his first step backwards right there in order to go forwards. All he's doing is losing time. But with plenty of reps and practice, I can promise you those false steps will be no more. Does a good job, though, locking onto that guy in the secondary and just moving him right out of the hole. Oh. That little tackle, number 57, had absolutely zero chance of blocking Darnell because he used those long arms and he has the reach over the kid. He was just able to extend him and just shuck the kid aside and make the easy tackle. There it is again. He's able to use the big frame and the long reach, so he's able to stop the offensive lineman's feet. And when the offensive lineman's feet stop, it's very easy to shuck them to one side or the other and make an easy tackle for loss. Great job, Darnell. Quite a few broken tackles. I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't go down easy. He fights for every yard. I love to see that in a guy, especially a tight end, who fights for every yard and is athletic as Darnell is. I love to see that. Look at the effort. Look at the effort on that running back, no less. He ran all the way from the other side of the field, chased him down, and stuck with the play and made the tackle. That was all effort, and I love it. I love the effort. Good block, but we saw again there a little bit. It was a false step, right? Watch this false step. Not as big as the other one, but he definitely did take that step backwards in order to go forwards for the block. And he does it even on his pass plays too. So I can tell you one thing, when he eliminates those false steps, he is going to be even more not only of an elusive player, but also of a deadly player downfield. He's going to get into those routes quicker, and he's going to be better blocking. I cannot wait until he eliminates those false steps. It's really going to go ahead and open up a whole new chamber of his game that we have not seen yet. Does a good job on the read right there. Great job. He gobbled up that quarterback. Oh! What a stiff arm. We're rewinding that and watching that again. Look at this stiff arm right here. Holy crap! Just looks like a modern day gladiator. Just boom! Get right off of me. Fills the gap, stays and contains the guy, does a good job on the play. See that false step again? But he blocks that guy about 7-8 yards down the field. Good job blocking, good job moving your feet, and good job getting in good position after that false step. Oh, I thought he was going to break that tackle, because if he did, he had a little bit more running room there towards the middle of the field, but still a very good effort play in fighting for those yards. Getting down the field and making plays on special teams. I love to see star athletes do that because high school players and college players hate to play special teams. When you're making an impact on special teams, it means that you have effort and heart. It speaks a lot to the player and the character. Nice job reaching for those extra yards, too. That was a good job right there. Right there, trying to run up the gut. He just uses that big frame, latches on to the running back, and stops him and hauls him in. There's a pass break up there with a little bit of a pressure. Good job. Keeps his contain and stops the running back from getting to the outside. That's exactly what you asked for in the defensive end. You can't teach size and you can't teach speed, and Darnell has both of those. We saw throughout his highlights him use not only his size but also his athleticism to get open and make sure-handed catches. And that translates to the next level, and in college he is going to make an immediate impact wherever he commits. In the grand scope of things, I'm not too worried about Darnell taking false steps while run blocking and running routes in high school, because he's extremely athletic. But if he wasn't athletic and had a difficult time moving his feet, it would almost be nearly impossible to eliminate or minimize those false steps. But since Darnell is extremely athletic and extremely quick, I think just with plenty of practice and reps in college and even his senior year in high school, they will be able to minimize those false steps and almost bring him down to zero. And when he does minimize those false steps, I can promise you, you are going to see him almost open up a whole different avenue in his game, because he's going to be getting open quicker and he's just going to be a better blocker. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I do appreciate that you took the time out of your day to learn a little bit about Darnell Washington. And if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing or follow us there on Facebook or Twitter at the Olsen Angle.